We've got a bit of a crazy opinion here. Oh, here we go. Again, that's just stupid. Welcome back, guys, to another week of TFW. This is the football show dominated by your footballing opinions. And I've got my trusty laptop, as always, to reel them off. So let's get straight into it, because there's some other interesting opinions this week. First off, Chris. Just Chris. Straight up, unpopular opinion, HAKIMI is the best right back in the world right now. 8 goals and 10 assists, and he's defensively solid. I'm not so sure that's an unpopular opinion. I agree. In fact, there are loads of you who, on the post for TFW, which, if you don't know, every Sunday night in the YouTube community tab, who are talking about HAKIMI. He's brilliant. His form has been brilliant. He is such a crucial part of this Dortmund team, along with Guerrero on the left-hand side. Yeah, I don't think that's unpopular at all. He is one of the best. He's one of the best attacking fullbacks. There's certainly better defensive ones, but I think there's so much pressure on a fullback today. And as well as this, I think this is really important because a lot of you are asking, what about defensive fullbacks? It's important to point out that Dortmund definitely play to Guerrero and HAKIMI's strengths. That's fine. That's obviously like a really good thing to do. Dortmund play with 3 at the back, and then they can kind of allow HAKIMI to go forward. So calling him the best right back and saying, but his defensive blah, 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 maybe judging him on his defensive duties, he's almost a right winger. You've kind of got to judge him as a right midfielder. In which case, it's still, 8 goals and 10 assists is a pretty good season. He's had a brilliant season, in fact. But yeah, to say kind of, to put him in the category with other right backs who may be playing a flat back 4 or very solidly defensive in a back 5, there's something to be said there. I don't know. You guys let me know. Moving on, Mr. J said, Lewandowski is seriously overrated. Sound the klaxon. We've got a bit of a crazy opinion here. He is just stat padding against opposition teams that can hardly make 3 passes. That's definitely exaggeration. There is no stats to back that up. Without losing the ball. And he always fails to step up and lead Bayern to Champions League glory. Here we go. Here we go. This is another a fan of this footballing era where you have to single-handedly drag your team to Champions League glory to be a good player. Like, yes, I realise that Cristiano Ronaldo probably did it for Real Madrid, right? That is such a unique set of circumstances. Most years, most winners of the Champions League, the Premier League, the Bundesliga, Serie A, aren't requiring one player to drag them to glory. Like, why can't Lewandowski just be a great player in a good team? Why does he need to be in a terrible team and then drag them to Champions League glory? That makes no sense whatsoever. And secondly, for those of you who watch the channel for a long time, you'll know that this stat padding discussion, it's just absolute nonsense. So let's just break it down for you. Teams play other teams twice per season. There is nothing they can do to not play these teams. Lewandowski cannot sit on the bench, right, for 30 games a season and only play 2 against Dortmund and 2 against Leipzig because they're the biggest competitors. What's he going to do when he plays these oppositions who apparently can hardly make 3 passes without losing the ball? Just not score because he thinks that Mr. J on the internet is going to say that he's stat padding. It's a game of football. Like leading to Champions League glory, for example. That comes around once or twice a season, the Champions League, like the big Champions League games. Or if you're talking about the Champions League final, that comes around once a season. What's Lewandowski going to do? Just sit there for the rest of the season and be like, no, forget it. You guys do all the tap-ins. If he didn't, Bayern would have someone else who did, like Müller or Gnabry or whoever, and then you'd probably say that Müller and Gnabry are just stat padding against the weaker oppositions. So no, that's absolute rubbish. Great strikers score against everybody, score every kind of goal. They do not care. They put the ball in the back of the net, regardless of the team that they're playing. So that's pretty much that, Mr. J. Finn McElroy said Jadon Sancho definitely is one of the top 5 consistent players in the world without a doubt. Maybe even the best this season. Yeah. He's been incredible for Dortmund, I think, over the last 2 years even. Not even just this season. He's definitely been up there. And look, people can have opinions. It's absolutely fine. You can agree or disagree with Jadon Sancho, as the next person has. But there is no way that, talk of £150 million transfers. His actual, if you look at things like Transfermarkt or I think it's the CIS Observatory, who look at footballers' stats and take into account all sorts of different metrics to come up with their transfer market and their value, there is no way that he is rated more than 120 million, but everyone else is wrong. And you, Mr. Finn McElroy, Sorry, the next person, which is Chat Shadow Noir. There is no way that everyone's got that wrong. The whole world is wrong, but you've got it right. Sancho is only worth, I don't know, 30 million. And the reason I say this, so yes, Finn, I do agree with you. Very consistent, top 5 in the world, could potentially be the best player in the world this season. Chat Shadow Noir said Jadon Sancho is overrated because his stats come from a farmers league. But Mbappe, despite playing in a farmers league, has actually proven himself on the international stage. Sounds like we've got a bit of a PSG fan here. So maybe you England fans should shut up. He's not a generational talent. Okay, definitely a French Mbappe fan here. Mbappe as well, by the way, I agree. Screw the farmers league tag. You put the ball in the back of the net every time. You're playing football. There is an objective in the sport, regardless of who you're playing against. And again, Mbappe can't play a Champions League qualifier every other game. He has to play the league season. This is football. And again, this sounds like someone who's very, very angry against English football fans. And this isn't even an English football fans thing. This is the Bundesliga thing. Like, it's the English football fans are watching and listening and seeing Jadon Sancho grow up in the Bundesliga where German fans are rating him. This isn't an England thing where you're potentially overrating someone within your own country. His stats come from a farmers league. Again, that's just stupid. That is just... And as well with Sancho, although it's very, very microscopic levels I'm talking about here, he isn't playing for the best team. I know they're second best and they're chasing Dortmund and Bayern for the title. So that's why I'm saying it's a very, very small level of what I'm talking about, small difference. If he was playing an even better team like Bayern, who arguably are one of the best teams in Europe this season along with Liverpool, if Sancho was playing in their team and they were killing everybody, and yeah, then maybe you could say he's got a slightly easier chance, because technically every single team they're playing is weaker, but they're not. They're in the mix with Leipzig, who are a fantastic team, and they're chasing Bayern Munich and chasing them pretty well. They're only 4 points behind at time of recording. Of course, this is Monday, and the result of the Clasico is yet to be known on Tuesday night. Sancho is not overrated. Again, like I mentioned before, how can everyone in the world rate him? And he's worth 120 million in market value, but you think he's overrated. It just sounds like some serious salt going on. And Mbappe has proven himself on the international stage. Also, has a very good team. Guys, this isn't individual. Football is not an individual game. All these guys, you have to look at their team as well. Next up, PK the Cartoonist said German teams are at an unfair advantage because when the Champions League and Europa League resumes, the German teams will be fitter than the other teams, making them best favourite to win the cups. I don't think so. If what UEFA has said is true, which is what they're looking at the moment, the Europa League and the Champions League will be played in a much shorter time frame, sometime in August. The reason being, because they've set a deadline for the 1st of August that if any leagues are to come back, they're to be completed by then. So let's assume that the leagues do come back. They all would have come back, been completed by 1st of August. Before the Champions League and Europa League start again in these tiny little mini tournaments. So yeah, every league will be back, certainly the ones that aren't back yet. Everyone will be fit, everyone will be playing. I don't think it's going to be an unfair advantage. Plus, if the leagues do get cancelled, like with France, PSG know, not for certain, but they will know at some point that the Champions League is coming back. So they'll have, 8 weeks or whatever, 6 weeks worth of fitness, probably a few friendly games to get fit and firing again. Carlos Duque has said, unpopular opinion, Dortmund will win the Bundesliga this year if they win their Klassiker. I'm actually going to go against it. It is, again, if you're watching this after the Klassiker, let us know in the comment section what happened. Even if they win and go 1 point behind Bayern, I just can't see Bayern slipping up too much. They are just such a force. And I think we've seen this season 1 or 2 slip-ups from Dortmund. 1 or 2 slip-ups in-game that they've recovered from. But also 1 or 2 results that haven't quite gone their way and you think, that's what's going to stop you. That's the difference between that and a title. I think they lost earlier in the season to Fortuna Düsseldorf, which they definitely shouldn't have lost. There was the 3 goals they conceded against Augsburg before Haaland bailed them out with a hat-trick. These 1 or 2 games, I can't see Bayern slipping up in. And if they got a 1-point lead as well with just... after that, I think it'll be, 6 or 7 games to play? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think Bayern are still going to win it. Ramsdorff, aka, said, the way people praise Bruno Fernandes, Dele Alli and other Premier League midfielders makes me so sad for Thomas Muller. who is so underrated for a player of his class. Again, this is like with the Hakimi thing. Guys, read the rest of the comment section and like read the internet. Everyone loves Thomas Muller. There is no way he's underrated or underappreciated, and deservedly so. I agree with you. He is class. He's been phenomenal this season. Yeah, definitely not underrated. The whole internet is going nuts about him because he's been brilliant. FIFA Flash. Wow, this is a big one. FIFA Flash has said, Firmino is trash. Always lead with your strong foot. Liverpool should sell him and buy a much better player. Okay, he's not trash. There are better players though. Not only Liverpool fans are hyping him up like Sergio Aguero, Harry Kane. He is not that level. He's a different striker to Kane and Aguero. They're all about goals, although they can do other things. Firmino, not so much. They should sell Firmino to West Ham or Norwich. I'm sure Norwich and West Ham fans and the clubs would love to have Firmino in their side. I'm not sure they got the money. I'm not sure Liverpool would sell, and I'm not sure Firmino would go to West Ham or Norwich ahead of any other potential suitors, should it be known that he is available for transfer. And by Kai Havertz, he would fit in the system perfectly. Love from Jakarta, Indonesia. Yes, Kai Havertz would fit in Liverpool perfectly. I think he would be great, and certainly in that Firmino role, kind of dropping off deep, linking midfield to attack and letting Salah and Mane get the goals. Havertz would be brilliant. But Firmino isn't trash, and Firmino wouldn't go to Norwich or West Ham. I think that's kind of an over-exaggeration. Of course, you're allowed your opinion. Just when you do, they might be taken apart on this show. That's what TFW is for. Yeah, they're not going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on Havertz to keep him on the bench. So it does make sense that if Firmino would leave, they'd bring Havertz in, but they won't. Liverpool aren't going to sell Firmino. I don't think they're going to bring in Havertz. And yeah, Firmino certainly isn't trash. Last but not least, Cyril Kiev has said, Juventus should sell Ronaldo and build their team around Dybala. Juve aren't going to sell Ronaldo, definitely not when he's still in his prime. Unbelievable, he's 35 and still in his prime, all still doing very well for them. I think their game plan has got to be to hold on to Dybala until it's right to let Ronaldo go. You don't want to be the team that jumps the gun and lets Cristiano Ronaldo leave before he's done. If he says, I want to leave, I'm 2 years in the MLS and I'm retiring, or I want to retire, or I want to leave, then they don't look so stupid, and then Dybala can come in and be the main guy. But yeah, jumping the gun with Ronaldo and putting all their money and hedging all their bets on Dybala, that's risky. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's unbelievable, Dybala. Insane player. But this is Ronaldo we're talking about. It's the same thing with Barcelona. They don't want to jump the gun too early and be like, see you later, Messi, we're building for the future. Yeah, that'd be very risky. I know Barca board do some stupid things, but they're not that stupid, and I don't think the Juve board are either. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for all of your opinions. As always, Sunday night in the YouTube community tab, we'll be posting, asking for all of your opinions on all the latest in world football for TFW. But what do you guys think of the show? Let me know in the comment section down below. Smash the like button whilst you're there, and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.